came in and told you, can they talk to you about yourself? I'm like, no. Just go ahead and put it out there when I was wrong. Yeah, and they said you had chlamydia. You're loving your 6 day kick in. They said, what I do with C-section. Guess what? You refused. You didn't want to mess up your little tattoo. Or you didn't want to get cut, right? Oh, all right. When your mama instincts was that thing. Because you sent through that infected canal, right? You did. You did that. So, don't do that. When I encourage you, I keep asking you, leave me alone. But you want to play with my children now, right? You play with my children. Talking about my grandbaby, like... And you know what's crazy? We will never talk about Chrisean because he's special and we really love him. But yo, you are foul. You are foul and disgusting.
The internet woke up today acting like it just swallowed a live grenade. Because the drama coming out of Chrisean Rock's universe makes the Kardashians look like a calm Bible study group. Word on the street is that Chrisean's own sisters, yes, the same sisters who used to scream family over everything, allegedly pulled up with Blueface, like they were clocking in for a hostage recovery mission. And they weren't pulling up for a friendly visit, a prayer circle, or a let's talk it out barbecue. Nope, they came with one mission. Take Junior. If betrayal had a soundtrack, this situation would be blasting at full volume. People online are losing their minds, swearing this feels like a deleted episode of Zeus mixed with a Maury twist nobody ordered. Fans are screaming that this is the kind of chaos that should be locked behind a pay-per-view subscription. 'Cause ain't no way real life is supposed to be this spicy. And the craziest part, the story is still unfolding like a long text message from a toxic ex at 3 a.m. What happened? Why did her own sister switch sides? And why was Blueface smiling like he already knew the ending? Stay right here. This leak is only getting messier. From the moment this situation hit the internet, it felt like watching a slow-motion car crash where everyone involved kept hitting the gas instead of the brakes. People were already used to the chaos between Chrisean and Blueface. But nobody expected her own sisters to roll into the storyline like surprise villains in the final season of a messy reality show. The narrative exploded instantly. Blueface allegedly contacted Chrisean's sisters, stirred up some family resentment, and suddenly they were pulling up like backup dancers in a villain origin movie. The way fans reacted, you would think a meteor hit Los Angeles. That's how dramatically this betrayal shook the timeline. Chrisean's sisters have always walked the line between loyalty and chaos. But this time the switch-up was Olympic level. Videos leaked of them talking slick, hinting that they were coming to get what's owed, which sent fans spiraling into conspiracy theories faster than you can say bad decision. The sisters claimed they were acting out of concern, but nobody bought that explanation for a second. Concern doesn't come rolling up to someone's house with Blueface in the passenger seat like he's the family lawyer. Concern doesn't show up ready to take a child during a feud that's already hotter than a toaster set on max. The internet has receipts stacked sky high, showing the sisters have gone from defending Chrisean to publicly shading her over the last few months. People started connecting dots. The interviews, the cryptic posts, the jealous energy, the weird timing, everything pointed to a messy buildup. Their relationship was already cracking like cheap glass. And Blueface slipping into the picture was the final tap that shattered the whole thing. Folks online said it felt like watching siblings fight over the last slice of pizza, except the pizza is a human baby and the stakes are emotional destruction. Meanwhile, Blueface looked entirely too comfortable during the whole situation, almost like he rehearsed it. Every clip and screenshot made him look like the director of the drama instead of just a participant. Fans swore he had a smirk that could curdle milk. He didn't say much, but his energy screamed, "I know something you don't." And people absolutely ate that up. Some claimed he manipulated the sisters by feeding them horror stories about Chrisean's parenting. Others said he used their frustration like gasoline, igniting a meltdown big enough to trend on multiple platforms at once. Whether true or not, his involvement turned the whole situation into a psychological thriller. Chrisean, on the other hand, was blindsided, and her reactions hit the internet like a meteor. The moment she realized her own blood was aligning with the man she'd been publicly battling for months. The shock on her face looked like someone unplugged her whole soul. You could physically see the betrayal hitting her in waves. She wasn't just angry. She was hurt on a level only family can cause. Fans said it felt like watching someone get stabbed in the back, then handed the knife as a souvenir. Her live reactions were raw, emotional, and icy enough to frost a window. The sisters arriving with Blueface wasn't a casual pop-up. It was a full-blown ambush dressed up as concern. They claimed they wanted to check on Junior, but their tone, timing, and attitude made it clear they were ready for confrontation. They came with questions disguised as accusations, with energy that said, "We've made up our minds." And with Blueface lingering like a backup vocalist in a diss track. Chrisean didn't know whether to defend herself, fight them, or laugh at the absurdity. Her trust was already hanging by a thread after weeks of online drama. And that thread snapped the minute her sisters showed up uninvited. Public reaction went nuclear within minutes. Fans took sides like it was a championship game. Some dragged the sisters for betraying Chrisean at her lowest. Others blamed Blueface for allegedly orchestrating the situation like an evil mastermind in a budget superhero movie. Then there were the people who swore this entire thing was destiny, that karma finally spun the block and hit the gas. Memes started flooding timelines, comparing the sisters to WWE tag teams, Blueface to a bored villain stirring chaos for entertainment, and Chrisean to a reality star fighting a war she didn't sign up for. The jokes were brutal, but the commentary was even harsher. Every old clip of the sisters shading. Chrisean resurfaced, like someone dug up a digital time capsule. People pulled up screenshots, Instagram lives, tweets, interviews, everything. It was like the internet turned into a forensic lab analyzing their family history. Viewers were quoting past arguments, pointing out red flags, and piecing together a timeline that made the betrayal feel inevitable. Suddenly, everyone became a self-made psychologist diagnosing trauma through 15-second videos. The sisters went from ride or die to backstabbers of the year in a matter of hours. And the internet didn't let them breathe for a second. Meanwhile, whispers started circulating that this wasn't just a spontaneous family meltdown. There were behind-the-scenes factors boiling for months. Some claimed Blueface had been talking to the sisters privately, sharing frustrations and stoking resentment. Others believed the sisters felt abandoned by Chrisean's fame, jealous of her spotlight, and hungry for relevance. People pointed out how they often side with whoever gives them a microphone. The betrayal didn't feel random, it felt calculated, like they were waiting for the perfect moment to jump into the drama and claim their own storyline. As tensions rose, the situation snowballed into something bigger than family drama. It became a public spectacle. Every influencer, celebrity blogger, and messy commentary page jumped on the story within minutes. People delivered essays, podcasts, rants, and reaction videos like they were covering a political scandal. One creator even joked that Zeus Network, God, should start taking notes because this was premium content they didn't even have to film. The comment sections across all platforms turned into digital battlegrounds, with fans launching verbal grenades at each other by the time the first hour passed. The narrative had already twisted into 10 different versions. Some said the sisters planned to physically take Junior. Others insisted they were just trying to mediate the chaos. Some even claimed Blueface wanted custody and was using the sisters as leverage. No one knew the truth yet, but everyone claimed they had it. The mess got so loud that even people who had never watched a single second of Chrisean and Blueface drama were suddenly experts, confidently explaining the family feud like they were long-lost cousins. What made everything even more chaotic was how silent the sisters stayed after the pull-up. No long explanation, no apology, no clarification, just silence so loud it echoed. Their refusal to explain themselves made the public think they were guilty, manipulative, or scared of looking bad. It left Chrisean and the internet filling in the blanks with their own theories. And in a story this messy, silence speaks louder than a bullhorn. It was the kind of silence that doesn't calm things down. It sets everything on fire. The stage was officially set. Chrisean felt betrayed, Blueface seemed strangely confident, and the sisters stood in the middle like they knew something the public didn't. The situation had all the ingredients of a full-blown explosion: family secrets, jealousy, custody drama, and enough emotional tension to power a reality TV franchise. But this was only the beginning, because once the internet got involved, the chaos didn't calm down. It multiplied. The situation spiraled even further when social media turned the betrayal into a cinematic universe. People didn't just watch, they participated like it was a global group project. Memes flew so fast you couldn't blink without missing 3. One clip compared Chrisean's sisters pulling up with Blueface to Thanos recruiting new Avengers. Except these Avengers didn't fight villains, they became them. Another trending meme showed Junior being photoshopped like a rare Pac-Man everyone was trying to catch. The internet wasn't just messy. It was performing at Olympic-level pettiness. Celebrities started reacting too, okay? Because drama this spicy has gravitational pull. Some rappers posted cryptic tweets like they were narrating a rap opera. Influencers dropped reaction videos pretending to be shocked while secretly grateful the algorithm was about to bless them. Even random celebrities who haven't been relevant since the ringtone era chimed in, hoping to steal some clout from the chaos. The story began spreading so far that people joked NASA probably got alerts about it. And honestly, they might have. The drama had more impact than a small asteroid. Meanwhile, fans began labeling the sisters as opportunists with Wi-Fi. Their sudden alliance with Blueface was being studied like a science experiment gone wrong. People said the sisters switched sides faster than a broken GPS recalculating directions. The narrative went from confusion to suspicion. Were they clout chasing? Did Blueface make promises? Was this about money, custody, or just spite, marinated in jealousy? Every theory was loud, ridiculous, and somehow believable all at once, exactly how the internet likes it. Chrisean's reaction videos continued circulating, showing her trying to stay composed while the emotional earthquake hit. Her voice cracked. She tried to understand her sister's motives. And she spoke about loyalty like someone who still believed family bonds meant something. Viewers felt her pain, and some even admitted the clip made them emotional. But don't get it twisted. They still turned it into memes 3 minutes later. This is the internet, after all. Empathy expires quickly when content is trending. Then came the wildest twist. Rumors that Blueface had been talking to the sisters behind the scenes for weeks, maybe even months. Screenshots surfaced, grainy, blurry, unreliable, but still enough to ignite the gossip wildfire. Fans claimed Blueface was feeding the sisters exaggerated stories to paint Chrisean as unstable. Others said the sisters were already salty and Blueface simply added seasoning. Some even claimed this was revenge for past fights and arguments within the family. Every theory added gasoline to the fire. Already blazing online, people started digging into the sisters' history like they were researching ancient royal drama. Old feuds resurfaced. Forgotten live streams went viral again. Clips showing the sisters shading Chrisean resurfaced and sparked debate. Suddenly, everyone was a historian breaking down why the betrayal made sense. People explained family trauma like they had PhDs in rock familyology. It didn't matter if their theories were correct, confidence was enough to make them go viral. But the real explosion happened when large commentary pages got involved. These pages love chaos like plants love sunlight. They started narrating the situation like dramatic documentaries. One page called it a real-life custody power play, another titled it the new definition of betrayal. Kay, a popular YouTube commentator, even said this was the most toxic family crossover episode in modern history. And that's when the drama reached its peak, when the commentary industry built careers off the pain. Suddenly, people were choosing sides with the intensity of a civil war. One group defended Chrisean with emotional essays about loyalty and motherhood. Another group insisted the sisters were acting out of protection. A third group blamed Blueface for stirring the pot like a bored chef. And then there was the chaotic neutral crowd. the ones who didn't care about who was right. They were just enjoying the show. Screenshots, lives, tweets, stories, everything became ammunition. As the online war raged, the sisters made things worse by posting cryptic lines like they were auditioning for villain roles. Quotes like "truth always comes out" and "family ain't blood." Its loyalty popped up, making everything look even more intentional. People dragged them instantly, calling their posts deep-sounding nonsense and comparing them to Dollar Tree philosophers. Instead of gaining support, it gained suspicion and memes, depicting them as backstabbers in high-definition 4K. Blueface didn't help either. Instead of calming things down, he stirred the pot with sly comments, smirks, and sarcastic posts that said everything without saying anything. Fans accused him of manipulating everyone like a reality show producer. People were convinced he loved the chaos because it kept the spotlight on him. To them, this wasn't heartbreak. This was marketing. And if that accusation was true, he deserved an award for strategic toxicity. Every hour brought a new twist. People online claimed the sisters wanted Junior for protection. Others claimed they wanted him to be around family instead of chaos. Some theories got so extreme they belonged in sci-fi movies. A few viewers even suggested this was a setup for a future TV deal because the timing was too convenient. Theories piled up faster than notifications, each one crazier than the last. The public frenzy reached a point where people forgot the core issue: a baby was involved. Comment sections turned into war zones. Fans screamed over who was the villain, who was innocent, and who was playing chess while the rest played checkers. Drama pages picked sides just to boost engagement. People who didn't even know Chrisean or Blueface were suddenly experts on their entire bloodline. It got so intense that even neutral viewers got dragged into debates they never asked. For what made it even messier was how Chrisean's supporters began releasing private screenshots and voice notes trying to expose the sisters. Real or fake, the receipts spread like wildfire. Every leaked message made the sisters look more suspicious. The narrative flipped from maybe they're concerned to, oh, they definitely planned this. People started comparing them to movie traitors, Scar from Lion King, Ursula, Cersei, Lannister, the whole gallery of iconic villains at the same time. More footage appeared of the sisters talking with Blueface in a way that looked way too friendly for people, supposedly concerned about a child's safety. The body language alone looked like they were forming a temporary alliance. Fans started analyzing the footage like FBI agents, referencing body posture, eye contact, and even the tone of their laughs. You know, the drama is serious when TikTok. Psychologists joined the battlefield. Everything escalated to the point where people claimed the sisters were chasing clout because Chrisean's fame skyrocketed recently. Some said the sisters felt overshadowed. Others said they were tired of being background characters in the Rock family storyline. Meanwhile, Blueface got accused of using the situation to gain leverage in public opinion. According to fans, this wasn't just betrayal. It was a power play dripping with ego and pettiness. By the end of the day, the internet was exhausted, overwhelmed, still addicted to the drama. People stayed awake refreshing timelines like they were watching a live sports event. The twists didn't just escalate, they mutated. The sisters' betrayal became a global spectacle, a digital wildfire consuming every app, every feed, every conversation. But the aftermath would be even more explosive because once the noise settled, the consequences were waiting like a quiet storm. The aftermath of the pull-up didn't just settle, it detonated. Once the initial chaos calmed down, the real emotional damage began to surface. Chrisean went live again, but this time the anger had melted into something colder, sharper, more painful. You could hear the disappointment in her tone like a cracked bell. She wasn't shouting or throwing shade. She was processing a betrayal so personal it almost didn't feel real. The internet watched quietly, unusually quiet, because even the messiest fans recognized this wasn't entertainment anymore. It was heartbreak unfolding in real time. As Chrisean spoke about loyalty and trust, fans flooded the comments with support, telling her she didn't deserve this kind of betrayal from the people who share her blood. They wrote paragraphs about how family can sometimes be your biggest enemy. Others reminded her that success can make people switch sides quicker than a malfunctioning light switch. Even people who normally dragged Chrisean admitted they felt her pain. The atmosphere shifted from chaotic laughter to collective sympathy. That's when everyone realized the sisters didn't just betray her, they shredded years of complicated, delicate history. Blueface, meanwhile, acted like nothing happened. His vibe was detached, almost smug, like he had front row seats to the drama he may have helped create. Fans accused him of weaponizing the sisters' resentment and using them as pawns. His cryptic posts didn't help either. Every smirk, every joke, every sarcastic caption felt like a slap to the situation's seriousness. People began questioning whether Blueface's entire public persona was built on thriving off other people's pain. His name trended for all the wrong reasons. And the backlash was louder than usual. The sisters finally broke their silence, but their explanation made things worse. They posted vague statements about protecting what's right, about stepping in when things go too far, and about doing what needed to be done. But nobody bought it for even a second. The timing was suspicious. The tone was defensive, and the excuses didn't match their actions. They sounded like villains trying to rewrite the script after the audience already watched the movie. Every sentence felt hollow. And fans shredded them in the comments like a digital blender. People began questioning the sisters' real intentions. Were they actually trying to help, or were they trying to grab control in a moment of chaos? Some fans claimed the sisters wanted Junior with them for clout, that having him nearby would boost attention. Others argued that the sisters were fed up with Chrisean's emotional roller coaster lifestyle. But the loudest theory was that they simply wanted relevance. The internet pointed out how their online engagement skyrocketed the moment the drama touched them. Coincidence? Nobody believed that. Even celebrities started speaking up again. A couple of industry personalities commented on how family feuds hit harder when fame is involved. They claimed people lose themselves around cameras and chaos. Some even said this situation proved once again that fame doesn't strengthen family ties. It exposes the cracks that were already there. A viral tweet read, "Chrisean fighting Blueface and her sisters at the same time is a battle even the Avengers wouldn't take." It was harsh, funny, and painfully accurate. Meanwhile, fans begged Chrisean to take a break, regroup, and reevaluate who deserved access to her and her child. They told her to build a healthier circle, one without opportunists and emotional vampires. She didn't respond directly, but her facial expressions said enough. Her silence hit harder than any rant she could have delivered. You could almost see her recalculating her entire support system in real time. Betrayal doesn't just hurt. It rearranges your whole life map. As the dust settled, new leaks surfaced showing older arguments between Chrisean and her sisters. Stitched videos appeared showing how the tension had been brewing for months, maybe even years. The internet began piecing together a bigger picture. This wasn't a sudden betrayal. It was the final eruption of a volcano that had been rumbling for a long time. The pull-up with Blueface wasn't the beginning. It was the breaking point. And once that became clear, the narrative shifted entirely. People started calling for Chrisean to protect JR from the tug-of-war happening around him. They said the baby shouldn't be anywhere near the chaos, emotional explosions, or family wars. The constant feuding, the online yelling, the backdoor alliances, none of that was good for a child. Some fans even suggested professional intervention before things got legally messy. You know the situation is serious when random viewers start recommending lawyers and mediators like they're passing out coupons. On the other side, Blueface supporters argued that he had every right to be involved in JR's life, and that the sisters stepping in proved the situation was unstable. They insisted Blueface wasn't manipulating anything. He was simply trying to protect his child. But those arguments fell flat when compared to the avalanche of receipts showing him stirring drama like a chef stirring soup, no matter how you sliced it. His behavior didn't look protective, it looked performative. The sisters, drowning in backlash, tried going live to clear the air. But their explanations only tightened the noose around their credibility. Their tone was defensive, their stories didn't match, and their reasoning came off as ego-driven rather than protective. People noticed the inconsistencies instantly. Every time one sister said something, viewers pointed out contradictions in the other sister's previous statements. It was a verbal circus, one that only made the backlash harsher by now. The storyline transformed from family dispute to full-blown reputational meltdown. The sisters became villains in the public eye. Blueface became the antagonist, accelerating the chaos, and Chrisean stood alone, hurt but gaining sympathy. It was the kind of emotional storyline that made people root for her, even if they didn't always agree with her choices. The internet loves redemption arcs, and this betrayal made her stronger than ever. As the online storm began to calm, people reflected on the deeper message hiding in the mess. This wasn't just about a pull-up. It wasn't just about Blueface. It wasn't even just about sisters switching sides. It was a story about the cost of fame, the fragility of family bonds, and how quickly loyalty can collapse when resentment goes unattended. People said this drama was a cautionary tale in loyalty, boundaries, and the danger of mixing personal life with public chaos. But one thing remains certain. This wasn't the end. Every person involved has a history of unpredictable behavior. This family storyline has more twists than a soap opera. And knowing this crew's reputation, the next chapter is probably already brewing behind the scenes. The internet may be quiet for now, but that silence is the eerie type, the calm before the next viral earthquake. Fans are watching closely because they know these scandals don't die, they reload. And there you have it, the betrayal heard around the internet, the family feud nobody ordered, and the plot twist that even Zeus Network would look at and say, yeah, that's too messy for us. If you've been glued to this roller coaster like your phone is super glued to your hand, then trust me, this is only the beginning. Because in the world of Chrisean, Blueface, and now the plot-twisting sisters, the drama doesn't end. It just reloads like a video game with unlimited lives. So before the next explosion drops, okay? And it will drop, make sure you smash that like button, like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're dodging toxic family group chats. And definitely drop a comment telling me whose side you're on. Because this messy universe has more twists than a pretzel factory, and I need to know whose. Surviving episode 23 of this real-life soap. Opera, turn on those notifications too, because the way these people wake up every morning choosing chaos, I promise you the next scandal is probably already cooking. Blueface could tweet something wild in the next 5 minutes. Chrisean might go live the moment this video ends. And the sisters, they're probably drafting another cryptic quote as we speak, pretending it's deep while the internet drags them like a discount suitcase. So stay locked in, stay entertained, and stay ready, because around here, the truth doesn't just leak, it erupts. And if you thought this episode was insane, wait until you see what comes next. New secrets, new betrayals, new chaos. This is Expose Express, where the drama never sleeps. And neither do we. And neither do we.